Hello ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Izzo33. Welcome you to today's Anarchy analysis matchup between FlyQuest and the Golden Guardians. We're covering a game in the series, the Best of 5 series, and it's going to be game numero uno. And I chose this game because I feel this is the most interesting, as this sets the tone for a series. Now, FlyQuest coming in the better of the two teams, in my opinion, who have obviously been very good as we load into Champion Select here. FlyQuest as a whole have been very consistent. 3rd seed obviously going against the 6th seed in Evil Geniuses, and FlyQuest are very good. The most consistent team I would say in the league, have got a solid win record in the current LCS season, and they finished runners-up in spring, and they had to go through Evil Geniuses to get into the finals against C9, and from what I remember, they trounced EG, and this series is a good way to see if they will do it again, and to see how much this team has adapted, especially going against this EG side that's made 2 roster changes since that spring split. Obviously bringing in Golden Glue and Huni into that top side of the map makes this team slightly stronger, but obviously Jizuke has been dropped because of performance issues / a few personal issues that had to be dealt with. Now, as we look at the picks and bans here, looking at the 6 bans that have already come through, Kalista, Olaf, Karma, Set, Morg, and Blitz all across the board removed. Ignar's very known for his Blitz. Morg's just a big champion at the moment that teams are playing, and it's kind of a response to how TSM played yesterday, as Caitlyn has been high priority from every team if she's left open. So removing the Morg off the field removes that very powerful bot lane option, and it was used perfectly by Golden Guardians yesterday, the Morg being stolen away from the combo because teams are first picking Caitlyn. Now, looking at the first few picks that have come through here, Caitlyn, no surprises there. If it's open, it's more than likely going to be first picked. Very strong siege heavy champion. EG side of things, they've locked in the Graves and the Ashe, so they've got 2 carries for themselves already locked in. In the LCS, we're seeing a lot of Ashe into Caitlyn instead of the Jhin, which has been a traditional trend in the LEC. Obviously, Reckless's Jhin has been played into the most Caitlyn's, and it's something that he's very good at. I do believe he's won quite a few of them games as well, as the rest of the draft is shaping up quite nicely here for the 2 squads, as Volley and Thresh picked up here for FlyQuest. Obviously, they've got a very high amount of engagement, with the Black Shield not available for the EG because Morg has been banned. It realistically does mean that this Thresh will have a lot of agency in this bot lane, especially going into a Tom Kench, which is a very defensive support, which I do like this matchup for. Realistically, FlyQuest in that bot side map, especially with an early duelist jungler in the Volibear to partner alongside them. Now, looking towards the bans, expect a lot of top / mid lane bans here. I expect maybe a Set ban out from one of these 2 teams. Oh wait, he's already banned. Never mind. Renekton, GP, removing some blind pickable tops. Expect maybe an Orianna ban or even a Syndra ban from either of the 2 teams here, just to limit the pool and probably give EG a better first pick in this second phase. Zoe is still up. I mean, she's got a lot of power and agency and would work quite well with the EG side, because this EG side's drafting quite heavy into poke, and that being said, it would also work on the FlyQuest side, but they're going to remove the Corki. Usually expect probably FlyQuest now to have to respond with the Azir ban, as it would essentially mean that Golden Glue would get free access to the Azir, because his counter matchup, which is the Corki, which we usually see against an Azir, is been banned, and realistically would be ideal for them to do it. But no, we're going to see them ban out one of Huni's specials. In fact, they've banned both of Huni's specials in this second phase, the GP and Rumble. So, a lot of targeting towards Huni by FlyQuest in the second phase of the bans, and I like that actually from FlyQuest. It's a good adaptation that I didn't actually notice at first, but that does mean that there's these roam heavy mid laners available, and It's not going to be the TF that's very, very mobile and can deal with a Galio quite easily. It's going to be the Galio actually being locked in for EG. And I like it. I mean, it's very supportive. Obviously, it provides a lot of power with the Tom Kench. There's a lot of global ults to get around the map on this EG side. Technically, it could be Flyke's top side, but I do not think it... Oh, that's a Swain! Okay, we'll discuss that now. Ignore the TP ults and a lot of globals on EG side. We don't need to talk about that, because the Noxus King has been locked in. The Crow of Doom, as everyone likes to call him. Swain, very powerful. Can be played topside. I've seen a lot of him. You've also seen him support in solo queue, but the Shen confirms it's going in the mid lane. Actually, that's Swain. So Swain has got a lot of power. You've got your E that's a pullback, and you gain health. That's a very bulky FlyQuest squad with a lot of AP power from that Swain coming through as well. You've got your revealing eye, and your ultimate just drains the health out of the opponents, and then you can activate it. Boom, a lot of damage. It's a very powerful pick, and I do like it into this EG side, especially with that Hecarim coming through as well. Ooh, more. Oi. Instead of the Mordecai to the top lane, which I would have preferred, it's actually going to be the Heca. So, realistically, EG could have drafted quite heavily and gone with their Mord, which would have dealt quite nicely with the Swain, actually, I would have thought, as well as the Shem. You could have countered quite heavily this FlyQuest squad, but instead, you're going with the Hecarim, which I don't fancy too much. But, yeah, Swain, very powerful. Obviously, you've got a lot of AP agency, you get health through your abilities and your passive, and you can probably go Gravity and Dying to get more health, and be very, very bulky and hard to kill in teamfights, which is sort of how people play. Usually itemize towards probably a Rod of Ages first, and go down that route, and then build either Leandries, and then maybe a bit more damage, so Death Cap, to maximize your build. And it's a very, very powerful champion that we haven't seen too much of, and it's going to be in the hands of Power of Evil. This guy is insane with these sorts of picks. He pulls out whatever he wants. Swain is one of them picks that we haven't seen in a long time. I don't remember the last time we saw him, and if it was, it would have definitely been after his rework, because he was quite powerful when he came in. I don't know if we might saw him in 2018. I don't remember though. Anyway, very powerful champions. These two drafts, I would favour FlyQuest quite heavily. Obviously, they've got a bulkier front line. They've got a lot of damage sources, as well as the fact that they're very bulky damage sources as well. And on the EG side, you've got a lot of engage, you've got a lot of lockdown with the Ash Arrow, and then the Tom Kench Devour to keep him safe. You've also got the Hecarim, who can just onslaught of shadows through your backline. I've learnt the name of the ability, don't worry, I'm not going to just say the charge like I used to do. But yeah, the onslaught of shadows is his ability, and it's a hard one to say when you're getting into team fights. But yeah, these two drafts, very, very different executions, and it's going to be interesting to see how these teams play around what they've drafted, because FlyQuest have been a squad that are very lucky in terms of the Drakes. Obviously, if you don't know, they are doing Sequests this year, or this split where Ocean Drakes get their money to plant trees or save the coral reef. That's what it is, this split. And I like the fact that nearly every game they play, they usually get Ocean Soul, and they're very, very good at controlling the Drakes around the map. Santorin obviously is one of the superstar players on this squad that's been standout as one of the top junglers in this league this year, and I would honestly have him in my All-Pro squad, which I do believe I have got him there. And realistically, this FlyQuest squad are going to have a very fun time throughout this matchup, as I do believe there's a lot of focus for him. And onto Summoner's Rift we go here. FlyQuest are on the blue side of the map here. EG are on red side. Will that matter too much? Well, I do think it will with these comps, because obviously Galio wants to travel the map, and if he wants to help topside, it's going to be a little bit longer than walking up, because he has to go wrapping around obviously his camps. It's very, very hard to do normally because it takes a while, and you do have less of a chance to protect him if you go for ult. Obviously that ultimate range is quite low when it's at base level 1, and as such it's going to be very interesting to see how EG play around that, as well as the fact that they also have got the Abyssal Voyage as well. So they've got a lot of ability to get around the map, I guess, but it does take a while to do so, obviously, with how they want to play this. Now, on FlyQuest side, you've got a lot of dive agency and your own global teleport with the Stand United. Realistically, I would have been amazed if EG actually got the Shen as their second round first pick, because I highly doubt that FlyQuest would have gone towards the Galio. I would have expected maybe a TF if they were going down that route. But either way, you would have had either option open. You could either go EP TF or TP Galio. And I would have been amazed to actually see a full TP squad on the CG side. Like, you could see Shen top lane, Galio or TF mid, and then Tom Kench in the bot wave. That would have been huge, as there's a lot of agency to play globally with this EG squad if they went with that route. And it would be very heavy in terms of split push. As we look topside, here's the dealio with this top lane matchup. Hecarim obviously is gone Conqueror, and he can stack up quite quickly with his Qs. Obviously the swirly blades, and then he goes into W, so he gets a lot more healing out of that as well. So he can basically sustain up and keep active against the Shen. And Shen only has his shield from his passive, as well as the W to essentially get his power, as we see the mid lane combo coming out from Swain there, basically dealing a massive chunk of the Galio's health. And obviously this Swain was a counter pick, as we could see a gank here level 2, as the E is going to land here, the Demonic Grasp into the flash stun from Volibear, and that is going to be first blood over to this Swain, already getting ahead, and Volibear affecting the map already is huge. He did burn his flash though, and Gonglu didn't burn his, so there is a bit of a chance that if the repeat gank comes out again onto Galio, he can get out of it. But as we watch this again, Volibear lovely pathing straight through the jungle, into the river, straight into the grasp from the Swain, getting the stun, putting down his E, and boom, first blood to FlyQuest. So, with that gained for them, and this advantage in the mid lane being quite big now for this Swain, it does mean that the EG side will have to be looking to get out into side lanes to affect them earlier, because Galio is behind. He wants to get himself back into this game, so obviously when he hits level 6, he's going to provide a lot more power, and FlyQuest did a smart thing with their early game power from the Swain and the Volibear combo. Essentially, they're able to put this Galio behind early, which is what you want to do. You don't want him to get into his core abilities. As bot side, we do see a death sentence land, and the full combo coming out here from the Caitlyn nearly kills off Zazel there. And that is a big thing to see. But obviously, we look now at the jungle matchup. This is where things get a bit spicy, as we do see, we did see Svenskeren invading into the FlyQuest jungle, and you're probably wondering, why is he able to do that? Well, Volibear doesn't have flash, so if Graves went all in onto a combo onto him, more than likely with his early game dueling power that this Graves does have, he would have won the 1v1. And as such, Volibear has to play respectful and play around the vision that his team has gotten. And because his team are winning the bot lane 2v2, he can essentially go into the jungle on this bot side and steal away the wolf camp and the gromp. And because Thresh can just hang around with him, obviously he has his lantern, it essentially means that he can play quite safely and get away with basically stealing half of the enemy jungle. Now, Graves obviously is reset after clearing out his topside jungle, and that does mean he's going to get his first part of his jungle item here. And that is a huge thing. It means that he can play very, very aggressive now with his smites. Obviously, he is going for the challenging smite, and Volibear's gone chilling smite. So, chilling smite is going to be very powerful, and EG are getting the early pressure here, as death sentence is not going to land onto Svenskeren there, and as such, that should probably mean first Drake over to EG here, as the engage tools for FlyQuest have gone down, and they're just going to back away. Svenskeren will kill off this Scuttle Crab and start up the Cloud Drake. As such, this should be very easy for them to secure. Though we do see Ignar coming round, and the lantern's been placed. He's dragging in the volley. They're looking to fight this, but the Drake goes over to the Graves here, and the re-engage comes in as Galio comes down. The entrance is in. FlyQuest, though, are killing him off immediately as he's getting caught out. The ult from Swain is just tearing down Tom Kench here, and the burst comes through. Grayscale is popped. He is going to fall here, and that is going to be a double kill over to the Swain. Amazing plays coming out from FlyQuest, contesting the Drake, though they don't get it. Graves, though, maybe out in trouble, as he's on the wrong side of the lane, though. But Wild Turtle, he's been caught here. He's in the middle of two. The smoke screen comes down, and Caitlyn is forced to run. She may have to use her E to get over the wall, but the end of the line comes out, and Svenskeren secures the kill onto his former teammate. And, well, Wild Turtle gets punished for his positioning, something that usually happens, as we are seeing the power of the Hecarim here. He's got the power to stampede the Shen out of his ult, as a lovely solo kill comes out from him. Obviously, he can pull the Shen out of his W, meaning that he's unable to essentially use the effect of the block, and that is a huge thing as we watch this fight again. So Graves gets the Drake, Galio places his ult onto Zazel, giving him the magic shield and the knock up onto the volley, but the damage sources from EG are split up as Graves is trapped in the pit with TK, and the Ashe and the Galio are in the middle of it with Hecarim as well. And realistically, they're forced to just split, and FlyQuest don't have to make that choice. They just basically solo out one target. They just follow them and kill him off. As we are seeing EG starting a fight here, the Ashe Arrow is going to be used as Volibear's forced ult away here, and Flash as well. And EG pick up another objective for themselves as a Herald goes into the back pocket of Svenskeren here. And we may see an extended fight here. Shendo is just going to walk away, hover around in the river. He is on vision, but he is going to kill that Scuttle Crab as we flick towards mid-wave. Galio is behind quite heavily this Swain, and Swain is stacking up a tier for his first item. Obviously, you want the shielding so that you can pop your ultimate and stand in the middle of all the enemy team. That is kind of a big thing as the Liandry's pick up, well, itemization towards Liandry's has come out for Swain as his secondary item. So the tier is going to be very powerful here for Swain, as he's going to be able to get maximization out of his abilities. Looking towards the spot sign matchup, it is slightly favored towards the Ashe at this point, because she's gotten a bit more of a push in onto this Caitlyn as a whole, because Kate, yes, has got a lot of power in sieging, but Ashe can deal a lot more poke, but kind of focus down this Thresh, and when she does that, it kind of puts this Caitlyn at a bit of a disadvantage, because she doesn't have the protection of her support as much, and realistically, Tom Kench is just there to just gobble up on the EG side. So essentially, it's a 1v1 in that bot lane matchup at most. And realistically, it is slightly favoured towards the Ashe in the 1v1 trades. Top side in the map, we're seeing the Hecarim starting to get the aggressive push into the Shen's turret, because obviously after picking up the solo kill onto solo, it is very easy for Hecarim to use his power that he's gained to just push the wave in. Shen is forced to use his Tiamat to clear out the wave on the turret, which is Solo is kind of very good at doing. He's very good at playing safe, and is not going to try and overextend into a Hecarim to force something unless he has got his jungler there to protect him. But Volibear and Graves hanging around this top lane river, and we may see a little scuffle here between the mid and the junglers. But nope, Svenskeren is just going to head up top. He's probably looking to drop the Herald here, but Galio may be caught out here as the Chilling Smite is going to force Galio into a bad situation here. He's forced to ult towards the Graves as the Rift Heralds drop topside. We are more than likely going to see a fight here. Shen is going to be in the midst of it. The Herald is just dropped though, and EG disengage, but Galio is on the wrong side of the map, and the E from the Swain is going to probably see the Galio, and Galio probably is forced to execute here. Down he goes to the turret. FlyQuest narrowly don't get a kill. Instead, it's just an execute, and Galio is 0-3-0. That is kind of bad for him because he is getting further and further behind. He has got realistically no power. Whereas you look at the top side map and Svenskeren's going to get hit by a death sentence. Flayed back in the volley battle over the wall is going to secure the kill there. Lovely play coming out from FlyQuest, catching out the jungler of EG. And because he's dead, that should be Ocean Drake over to FlyQuest to even out the Drake count. What are we going to see for the third Drake is Sequest are getting their Coral Reef protection online. Down goes the Drake. It's going to be Mountain Soul what these teams are going to be contesting for. And that is a big thing for this FlyQuest side. They've got a lot of bulky members as Shen coming up to protect his turret that's narrowly not going to die here. Very lucky indeed, though this next minion wave I feel is going to be forced into that turret by this Hecarim. Obviously with the better trading power with the Trinity Force picked up, should mean that it's going to more than likely happen. And there we go, the minions have been killed. The minion wave is going to hit this turret, and that is going to fall with Hecarim charging in, hitting it once. That destructive charge just kills off that turret. Bish bash bosh. First turret gold into the back pockets of the Heca. Very, very nice. And it is solar gold as well. So, EG funneling a bit of the gold into the Hecarim's pockets here. Svenskeren coming around this bot side map. Probably looking to set up a play. But FlyQuest sniff it out. They just back away. And they're a bit slow to display realistically here, FlyQuest. As EG playing the map slightly better than them. But they're stepping up here to the turret. And that could honestly lead to a re-engage from FlyQuest here, is the Volibear is hovering around the spot side map. He is coming down here as well. FlyQuest, I'll look at the gauge as the E from Swain is going to be used. No death sentence is going to land, and FlyQuest just disengage. They're just willing to lose the turret plating around that bot lane turret, as the turret plates have actually fallen. It'd be interesting to note how many turret plates FlyQuest picked up. That looks to have been like at least one mid, maybe one top side, don't know. Shen might have got a bit of pressure as the Hecarim is charging down. Shen, he is taunted up and takes a turret shot though, Heca, and Shen gets away with his life. And he can farm quite safely back on his tier 2 turret, but Graves was trying to start up the Herald here, but FlyQuest have actually roamed up quite quickly. Volibear's going to start this up now as well, and he's going to get shielding from his E. And because of the pressure mid-wave, because Swain's quite fed. I'd expect FlyQuest to actually get this, obviously with Swain positioning towards it, Shen protecting from the top side of the map, and obviously Ignar has actually roamed up here before any of EG has come up, so that is definitely going to be Herald over to FlyQuest, but they're probably going to lose this bot lane turret because of the roam from Ignar coming through. He gives up a lot of pressure bot side. Caitlyn though, going to take her Krugs. She's going to steal them away. There's a lovely combo coming out from the Swain. It's going to put a massive chunk into Golden Glue's health bar. He has got his Leandries as well, this Swain, and that is going to be a lot of power just amplified through with the heal reduction of the Leandries. When it comes to team fighting, when he pops that ult, that's going to do a lot of work, especially against the Ashe that has got the Blade of Rune King, and if he's able to get on top of her, it's going to be very powerful. That being said, as we look at the item pickups, as the Proto Belt is the first item for the Galio, very interesting first pickup there for a Galio, because you usually don't expect to see that come through for him. You might expect it, but Galio has dropped down priority for most teams because of the fact that he hasn't seen too much, or he's just banned. The issue with Galio is he's very, very weak to control mages if in the mid lane matchup. As we've seen in this game, he's been put behind quite heavily, and he's down 3 kills to a Swain because of the amount of control this Swain provides. It essentially means that Galio is unable to affect the matchup as a whole, and realistically he's looking to just teamfight now and provide his power with his ultimate. That's all he realistically needs to do in teamfights now, Galio, and possibly land a taunt. But obviously the taunt can be responded to by Shen on this FlyQuest side. As the Herald's dropped mid-wave, that's more than likely going to kill the turret. It's the normal thing to do. Actually, it's going to survive on probably about 60 HP. But yeah, second Herald's usually dropped in the mid-wave, just to crack it open, get yourself a bit more map pressure. Because obviously in pro play, you see this happen a lot more. When you take down the mid-wave turret, it gives you a lot more agency around the map, because it allows you access into the enemy jungles. You can then focus down towards either of the side lanes and get the pressure down onto them, and obviously force ganks that way. Because you've taken mid-wave turret, it means there's no safety there, and that is the kind of the strongest point in the map is mid lane. You realistically use that lane to protect the rest of your map, and as such, with that turret being down, more likely will mean that the game gets opened up by either team that does it first. Now, FlyQuest are going to secure an uncontested Mountain Drake there, putting them up to 2 Drakes, obviously edging closer to Soul and Soul Point. But Galio is trying to force a play topside as Shen is forced to dash away from the Galio taunt. I know, 2 taunts in one game as the Onslaught of Shadows is used into the Galio combo, and that is a dead Ignar. He just gets caught out there by the FlyQuest team, but I didn't see what happened mid-wave as Ashe is going to fall, and Volibear forces to flash out from Tom Kench as the Ace in Hole does not kill him, and that is mid-wave turret thanks to Volibear tanking it up. I wasn't paying attention to what happened mid-wave, I was more focused in on this topside matchup, but Shen is going to be caught out now as he's taunting up the Hecarim. He's going to be forced under his turret, and they're just trying to chase him down. Look at the damage coming out here as the turret falls. Shen is forced to flash away. The Ignite is not going to kill him, and there's the Lantern to safety. A lot of shielding putting down onto Shen, keeps him alive, but FlyQuest are playing the map. While that is all happening, yes, the Graves and the Hecarim secure tier 2 turret topside, but FlyQuest secured the mid-wave tier 1 and bot-wave tier 1, giving him a lot of pressure as Galio is looking to force onto the Swain here. Tom Kench's Abyssal Voyage has come out and a TP as well. They're looking to kill him off here. He's in his ultimate stage here, the Swain. He's just so tanky. He's taking up a lot of damage here. He's healing up in status and he's just ready to pop it, but he doesn't. And there's a shutdown for the Hecarim. They're funneling a lot of gold into the back pocket of Huni here as TP towards the mid-wave to protect that tier 2 turret from Bang. And yeah, EG pick up a few kills to even out the turret count as well. This game's getting crazy as Hecarim may be caught out here as Thresh, lovely flay, stops the charge. Death sentence is not going to land as the onslaught of shadows out from that fight means Hecarim gets away. And FlyQuest get nothing as we go back. Okay, we're going to watch this play. So, Ignar walks up into the triple Team Doom. In mid-wave, we do see the Ash Arrow land onto Caitlyn. And it's just to force under the turret, I do believe, as Wild Turtle gets stand united. And then it's the engage from volley as well. Oh boy, that is how we saw the Ashe fall. She went way too aggressive there, burning her flash as well to try and kill Kate, but gets nothing as in return. That is so unlucky if you're Ashe. And a bit brazen, I guess would say, because you don't want to be burning flash to go aggressive, as another Ash Arrow is going to go wide this time, not going to land onto Wild Turtle. And speaking of things that put a stun on you, let's get some stun removal on the side of the FlyQuest lineup as Thresh gets his Mikhail's Crucible. That's going to be very useful against the Ash Arrows, and obviously the taunt from Galio. It's going to be a huge thing to actually have on your team, and it's very powerful. That being said, Tahm Kench kind of has the same thing with the QSS. Obviously, he can eat someone up, devour him, nom nom nom, put them in his belly, and if he gets stunned, he can just pop the QSS and keep him alive, and avoid the stun that way. As Ashe picks up her Hurricane, she's getting to her second item, Power Spike, quite quickly actually. As the second item from Caitlyn is probably close to completion. Probably going to be the Essence Reaver second. She's actually in this... Where is she on the map? She's actually traveling back down to mid. Obviously, FlyQuest has set up a bit of pressure to get this top lane tier 1. Swain obviously is hanging around as we're seeing a bit of counter jungling as Heka is charging into the Shen. Does not force him out of his W, and as such, Shen just is able to survive this engage, and it's just a bit of trading between the top laners. Nothing different there than any other matchup realistically, but Ignar trying to clear out some vision as this EG side lying in wait maybe for a possible engage onto this Thresh if he oversteps. Instead, he's just going to go back, hide in this brush, provide Santorin a bit of safety, and head back mid. So, back to this mid-wave matchup. Sway now is in this mid-wave with Volibear, providing a bit of shadowing to his mid laner. And yeah, Caitlyn's returning as the Mountain Drake is spotting in 4 seconds, and we may see a possible engage here as Huni is spotted out by the sweeper from FlyQuest, and lovely Lantern keeps the Volibear safe as Ashe firing a few volleys. She's stepping up quite aggressively here, bang. And bang bang, he may die here as his positioning's a bit off as Huni is sectioned off from his team, trying to get this flank with the onslaught of shadows, but Lantern is placed to probably provide some safety for his team, to obviously come in and protect him. As Stand United is casted onto Svenskeren, he's looking to engage here as the Volibear ult is coming in. Ash Arrow is going to hit onto Wild Turtle, but that is just Drake over to FlyQuest. They get all they want, and EG is sectioned off here as Hecarim is on his lonesome. He is going to be not hit by taunt from solo, and FlyQuest just walk straight through EG. Bad engage if EG wanted that there, as they didn't get too much. They just had to pull off from that, as they were quite sectioned apart. Obviously, FlyQuest could tear them up from the middle, and I don't think EG got really anything they wanted in that fight, as they lost the Drake, they lost the positioning around midwave, and realistically lost everything from that. And that is not a good thing, considering the fact that they have an Ashe, they have a Galio, and a Hecarim unable to pull the trigger. Like, Ashe landed a good arrow onto the ADC of FlyQuest, but where was the follow-up? There was none, as Hecarim was stuck behind a wall being threatened by a Thresh, who had a lantern down, ready to pull in his team, to come kill off the easy target, and he also had the fact that the other two carries from EG, like the Greys, was killing off the Drake, and Tahm Kench was providing protection to the Ashe. So there isn't realistically much this FlyQuest squad played wrong, as the Ashe Arrow yet again goes wide, and the Anta to safety is going to pull Galio in. But Galio is going to turn onto Wild Turtle, and he's forced flash over the wall here, and the Abyssal Voyage and the Onslaught of Shadows into the Galio wall is coming through, and that is a dead turtle to the Ashe. Ashe gets online with her first kill of the game, and that is going to be huge, especially onto the carry of FlyQuest. And we may see EG turn to Baron here. They're certainly walking towards it, but this mid lane tier 1 is a target here as the TP is coming through. Galio is going to turn up solo, and he's forced to flash over the wall. That being said, Swain is killing turret as Hecker's going very aggressive to secure that kill as well as the turret. But FlyQuest, though, trading across the map, I don't know which turret they got. I think it might have been top lane tier 1 fell. In return, it was going to be the mid lane tier 1 for EG. But EG showing signs of life making that play there. And look at the vision they've gained in the spot lane jungle. It's very, very big, I guess is the best way to put it. They've got a lot of wide coverage. But you want to be taking that vision up to Baron, as that's the only objective on the map to contest for 2 minutes. And there realistically is no vision set up here by EG. And they're slowly but surely trying to get in, as Sven Santorin is going to take the scuttle grab. And what is Sven Santorin going to get in return, other than the control ward? That's about it. So, as things stand, 2k gold lead in the back pockets of EG. Looking towards items, it is Predator Galio. I didn't actually comment about this earlier. Predator Galio is not something that we see at all. Galio is better with, say, a Grasp or Aftershock, or something. Even a Guardian would be better than Predator, because I guess you want it to obviously land your taunts, because obviously they changed how Flash and Taunt works. You can't just prep the taunt and then just flash into them. You have to obviously flash first, get on top of them, and then press W after a couple of seconds. But EG hovering around this Drake pit right now. Way too early. I'd expect maybe FlyQuest to turn towards Baron here, because they've got better positioning towards the top side map, and Ashe is looking to go aggressive here. His Death Sentence is going to land on Team K. He's not going to do anything though, and that is just going to be a bit of health into the back pockets of Swain, thanks to that W landing onto Tahm Kench, and he's healing back up. Now we are seeing a bit of ARAM here from the two teams, as FlyQuest get the better positioning in mid-wave. They're all grouped up here. Hecker looking to come in from the side, but Ignar is flanking to keep him away. And this is Volibear going into the Ashe, and he lands onto the Grave, and lands a stun. Ashe Arrow is going to go wide again, and the Thresh has caught out Huni. He's going to be hit by Taunt and Onslaught of Shadows over the wall. It's not going to be enough. He's going to die here. Swain is in the front line, and this is a re-engage coming out from FlyQuest, as Galio is going to be used defensively here by EG, and they're looking to run away as Graves is being taunted up by Shen, and Shen is not going to get the kill here. The Ace and Hole is going to come through, and that is a dead Zazel, as the pullback from the Swain is in a lovely position, and he is narrowly going to die there to the Caitlyn, and the Swain gets the kill onto Graves. Lovely Death Sentence is going to land onto Ashe, and that is a double kill for the Caitlyn. Make that the ace, and that is going to be Soul for FlyQuest, and they're going to turn straight to the Baron here. They've got the man advantage. All of EG are dead. That is pretty much game in my opinion, as they can push straight up mid-wave. They're down on that tier 2. That is definitely a big, big win for this FlyQuest team, as Sarek's Gate is picked up for Hecker. It's a bit late, obviously, but Galio is coming in from side. He's TP'd towards this Baron pit. He's looking to get in. He uses Predator, and that is Huni in the pit. Smite comes out from Volibear, and it's going to land. Taunt is only going to land onto Santorin. And Galio, you're in a bad spot, mate. You're forced to status into your death as Swain picks up the kill. Ash Arrow coming in from the side. Ash has TP'd in as well. And this is going to be a fight. EG are looking to fight this for some reason. 4v5 and TK's forced to flash over the wall. Graves, mate, you're on the wrong side. Sorry, Huni, you're on the wrong side of the map. I'm used to expecting Svenskeren to do the counter jungling. But you're forced, mate, to go towards these turrets. And will he die? No, he's just going to walk away. I thought he would be executing again for the second execute of the game. He's just going to run away. And blast cone over the wall as we watch this fight again. So we're hovering mid-wave. Santorin gets smoke screened and he's trying to run down Graves. He lands a stun. Death sentence is flashed by Svenskeren to keep himself alive. And the Ash Arrow goes wide. It was actually quite good on terms of aiming at Wild Turtle. But he dodges away very nicely. And then it's just Power of Evil zoning away the rest of the carries from EG. And as such, with him going into status, he can keep himself alive, obviously with the ult. And realistically, it's then FlyQuest chasing down the rest of the members of EG. And lovely pullback puts Zeyzal in a bad position. He's the first to die as the 90 caliber let pulls Caitlyn even closer to get that kill. She then gets the kill onto Ash after a lovely death sentence hits from Ignar. But yeah, lovely play coming out from the FlyQuest team. And Mountain Soul is a big thing when you have a Shen, Thresh, and a Swain, and a Volibear. Hell, pretty much all of this FlyQuest team are going to love this massive shielding and resistance as they gain from that, as the Ash Arrow is going to go wide. Lantern to safety, as look at the speedy boy Huni. He's going to get taunted up here as he's forced to onslaught of Shadows out. Galio is going to come in, but it is too late, my friend, as Tom Kench is forced to engulf the Ash to a death, and Caitlyn gets the third kill of the fight. Make that a fourth for Swain. Double kill in total, and Huni, mate, you ran in, but you're going to be running back to your fountain as you're going to die here to a Shen. Shen is so powerful at this point, and that is the ace. FlyQuest are in the base, and that is going to be game here as FlyQuest can just push through this bot wave, kill the inhib, kill the Nexus turrets. Game 1 in this best of 5 has gone to the better team overall as FlyQuest beat EG to this win. Lovely game coming out from this FlyQuest team. It looks so much like their last series against EG from this one game. Very explosive. Very, very well coordinated towards team fighting by FlyQuest. And the fact that EG got split up quite a lot in them team fights, you would have thought that FlyQuest were playing the pit comp. Instead, it was EG actually having that pit comp, and the Ash Arrows from Bang going wide countless times. It's like he was trying to go for field goals and it was going wide every single time. And you could not fault the positioning on some of them. They were good. But the realization and realistical usage of them was not good. Because there was no way for this EG squad to actually act on some of them. And as such, it essentially meant that FlyQuest were able to punish the carry of EG because of the fact that the rest of the EG squad could not help the carries. And Galio did not work too well, I don't think, for EG, as it was essentially wasted, in my opinion, as it was not using the ultimates in time and was not providing the right advantage for the team. As a whole, in the rest of the series, I would love to see maybe a bit more of a control magey mid laner for Golden Glue, instead of this taunt heavy response to a Shen. It didn't work for me, and as such, that game went over to FlyQuest. Kudos to them for playing their comp better. And that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here if you want to. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.